ladies, gentlemen, and non-binaries. Welcome to Babs's Bungalow. My name is Barbara, and today we're going to be taking a look at the cameo that I think so far has the most moves of any cameo. I feel like he does. We'll have to double check that. But yeah, it's Stryker. I was not expecting it. Well, I guess he would be the perfect character to fit into the cameo, but I was not expecting full-blown MK3. I kind of was hoping to see MK9 Stryker come back, but I mean, it is what it is, I suppose. I mean, he did kind of come back with the equipment, and yes, I did do the Titan battle with Baraka, but that is not the fight we're dealing with today. Oh, no. Today, the fighter we're playing with is, and you would be surprised at the utility that these two pack together. So what do I mean? Well, first off, Stryker is actually probably the cameo character that has the most moves, even counting characters that technically have two moves in the same sort of slot. Because he uses up, down, forward, back, and just neutral cameo all the same. So unless Aftershock Tremors confirmed to have variations, so we'll have to see what that brings to the table, but as it stands, Stryker's pretty much your widest toolbox. Short of, I guess, Shujinko technically, but I gotta wait until things settle with this crazy asshole before we get too far. So let's head to the Great Hall, shall we? And talk about Stryker, because this character brings lots, and I do mean lots, to the table. Let's actually tag all of his moves now, because we can do that now. And as you can see, yes indeed, he does actually have 5 cameo moves, plus the throw, plus his own plus his part of the fatal blow. So if you pick Stryker, you're going to be seeing him a lot, almost by default. So first and foremost, we have Lethal Takedown. A free low that is quite quick. Certainly quick enough to catch opponents off guard, but note that it's a summon, so I can't necessarily do this move and then call it as a free mix-up. I can threaten it, but I have to predict the opponent comes in and stand blocks instead of catching this crazy overhead, which feels like an Injustice-style cross-up. That is a whole other theory video for me, or video discussion later. But already, he has a low. Not bad. His throw, by the way, before I forget, does the same amount of damage and throws the opponent back further than starting range. In fact, yeah, 1 backdash away from full screen. So not bad for zoners, but characters that want to get in close might want to look at other options that they want a good throw. Then we have low grenade toss, or as I like to call it, close grenade toss. He throws 2 grenades, they each do 30 damage, and this is his first ambush. So I can do something like this. Okay, what is it again? There we go. And then potentially uppercut an opponent into the grenade. These can be used to extend combos. In theory. It's a little tricky with Ashra, but I do have an important piece of utility that makes this duo, I think, underrated. And of course, these explosives also cover a lot of space in front of you. So these are a really good way to kind of just throw something to cover your moving in or cover your retreat. Because you could also backdash behind. You could do this, call Stryker, and then Stryker's in front. Any projectiles the opponent throws at you will get eaten by Stryker, which will do less damage. Oh wait, that's right. Stryker actually reduces your health by 50 points. I thought he didn't change your health points. That's my bad. But we have high grenade toss, which is really far grenade toss. Because if I do high grenade toss, I can actually get a potential combo off on this. And of course, some characters will benefit more from the low or the light, but these are two of the same attacks, effectively. One just goes further, and they recover at about the same speed. So, low grenade toss starts later, probably because Stryker starts later, but they recover at about the same rate. So this is technically faster, but only because this recovers a little bit later. And then we have Cuffed, a sneak attack that pulls the opponent back and leaves them standing. It's a restand, and you cannot do anything while you're doing this because this is a summon. So, and now I can reset the situation. Call the overhead, do that. Or call the low if you're close to death. That's the kind of mix-up situation that you can go in. And of course, with Ashra, if you can hit confirm off this, if you at the very least call it out, but that's more of a hit confirm off of 4-4 than anything. However, one thing that is pretty good is Kappa. Lightning fast overhead. I would never be able to react to that, but that's mostly because my reaction time is garbage. But at 22 frames, it is a fairly fast overhead. So if you have a lot of strong lows, or a special cancelable low, you can do a low overhead just about any time. So as you can see, Cop Bop and Lethal Takedown offer in a built-in mix-up. So Stryker has free 50-50s. He has a restand. He has a restand that really resets the situation. Let me double check the frame data for that. It's minus 12 on block, but plus 35 on hit, especially at further ranges. So if I were to turn frame data on, yeah, I was plus 35 there. But the opponent would still be able to block. But that's still scary for a character like Ashra to have because of her crazy footsies. Remember, plus 35. So she can actually walk in a little bit and then go for it. And, hold on. Yeah, there we go. Where is it? Oh, there it is. My bad. It's been a hot minute since I played Ashra. So she can go for this, end it in this, and all of a sudden her in range for her mix-ups. And Stryker's mix-ups too, because remember, Stryker brings his own. So even if you're a character that doesn't have a mix-up, that's fine. Stryker's more than happy to let you play with all the toys in his toolbox, including the space coverage. But let's talk about his Fatal Blow. Because there is actually a unique property here. It has the most hits of all Kameo supers. And teamed up with Ashra, it's the most hits of all supers in the game so far. As a raw super. Now you might be thinking, well, okay, but what does that matter? They all do the same damage. I mean, Baraka's technically doesn't, but there's the whole DOT thing. Well, with this tech recently being revealed, I can now talk about this, because me and my buddy, Balrog, who you have heard on the Darius episode, have been sitting on a little secret. If you time the button presses in Mortal Kombat 1, just like in Injustice 2 and Mortal Kombat 11, you can get damage buffs to your supers. Depending on your timing. And all of a sudden, what was 35 is now 36. This is not a tremendous amount of damage buffs. So you might be thinking, well, why is it worth it? Well, the damage buff amounts are the same across every character. And the supers all do the same damage. It's not like in Injustice 2 or Mortal Kombat 11 where Fatal Blows actually had different damage amounts, or had different values in the button presses because there was only a certain amount of levelage in each. With each timing, like in Injustice 2. And remember, with Injustice 2, supers did a wide variety of damage. So there was never really a stone-cold winner who could take maximum advantage of this. Until Mortal Kombat 1 and Ashra Stryker. All you have to do is mash the face buttons after this hit. I am not making this up. Sorry for the noise. Hello, 40% super. 40% super, baby. So, yeah. Ashra and Stryker are an unconventional duo and might even seem a little incongruous at first. But if you love your supers, and trust me, I do, this is something to consider, especially since off the right timing. It's a little tricky to do, but yeah, no, I gotta do it. There it is. Not exactly the flashiest or longest combo in the game, but ended in Fatal Blow and not wear out your hand. Congratulations, she has a 50% super combo. That is, all you have to do is get the grenade timing down. Once you get the grenade timing down, this becomes easy as pie. So, yeah. That's certainly something for you guys to consider. But there are 3 more characters I think that benefit from having Stryker's presence a little more apparent. And we're going to start off with somebody who really does not need more mix-ups. And yeah, let's keep beating up Kitana. So, let's talk about why Stryker Reiko is actually an underrated combination. Because Reiko's a command grab character, right? He is traditionally speaking the most command grab reliant character in the game because of his pale rider pile driver type attack. Wrestling fans, do not crucify me on the name of the actual attack. I haven't enjoyed I haven't been in the wrestling scene since the WWF days. So, either way, Reiko is a grappler, wants to get up close and enforce his mix-ups so that he can get that scary-ass command grab, which remember, for 2 bars, is mid-guaranteed and does 210 damage. Crikey, that is a lot of damage. So, then you kind of get cheeky, because if you neutral duck the command grab, which you can do, you get a punish. And that can include a KD punish, sort of, with the down to meter burn mechanic, which I personally have never used, but is a neat idea. So where does Stryker come in? A low is going to beat that. And if they're clever and think, okay, well, he's going for lows a lot, he's enforcing pressure, this Reiko, I can just anticipate the command grab, right? Overhead. So, in this situation right here, where Reiko is right in your face, he has a 4-way mix-up. Don't believe me? Overhead. Low. Command grab. And parry. So, yeah, if he goes for it, he can get a parry, which is free damage. Which, if he is cocky enough to meter burn for 1 bar, you get a Reiko combo, which guarantees the command grab, which puts you back at square one. And of course, Reiko at this range is actually not that bad. He's kind of awkward at this range, and then at further range he has his fantastic shurikens. But at the range where he can't really throw his shurikens without risking a punish from a longer range character, or enforce anything with this mid, or with any comboable attacks. He kind of has that awkward range. He might need help getting in. Cue grenades. Oh, or let them cuff, dash in. Oh yeah, that's another thing you have to consider too. What if instead of any of those four, he just goes for, let's just say that into this. Dash in, all of a sudden he's got the mix-ups. Reiko is scary up close, people. And Stryker can really enforce that. Especially because, again, because all of a sudden, yeah, Reiko has one overhead. Now he has two, plus a swift low. So, you know, and the thing is, unlike his sweep, unlike forward 2, if you're going for, you know, your combos, super basic example, proof of concept idea, right? But you see the opponent block it. Well, let's say they do block it. All of a sudden, and you know that kick is unsafe, right? It is mad unsafe. Minus 15. You could fucking sneeze and still punish this, literally. However, if you throw Stryker into the mix, there is a gap there because it is 26 frames. But if you block it and you don't call it out, which is a bit scary to do because you've got this parry, you've got the command grab. Is the parry 26 frames? No. That can't be right. Yeah, retaliation's 8 frames. So it looks like there's a small bug here where oh, I see. That's just how long the actual parry animation is. That is a long time. Anyways, so small bug, no big deal. But then you have to contend with an even safer overhead, which is plus 6. So, you know, watch the mix-ups and make sure, you know, you don't get tick grabbed. Wait, are there no tick grabs? At least not, maybe I don't know any. Which is totally fair. I literally just touched Reiko for the first time in a little while today. I should be clear. However, that is where Stryker can help Reiko, because all of a sudden, yeah, he can choose to zone you out with the grenades and stuff, sure, but the real scary stuff is up close and personal. And that 4-way mix-up, I cannot wait for pro Reiko players to discover Stryker as a potential partner, because good God, that is going to be scary. Another character who actually kind of appreciates Stryker is a mix-up king already. We all know what Smoke is all about, and it is crazy mix-ups. You know, he's got a fast low that could go into an overhead. He's got this comboable high. You know. There we go, 32%. Easy peasy. He's got this string, which is special cancelable. The dash, hold on. The smoke cancels, which I am far too slow to do. But you get the, but you have seen some of Smoke's mix-ups. And then you have his full screen option, Smoke Bomb, which if he meter burns it, he's invisible now. And invisible for for a decent period of time. You can also do the same. Hello. I will make sure that everything is good later. I think I know what's wrong. But let me find that damn invisibility. Hold on. Vicious Vapors cancel, enhanced smoke bomb. turn Smoke invisible. Is that really it? I thought he had other moves that turned him invisible. Canceling enhanced Smoke board. Okay. There we go. I see now. So he has a couple of ways to go invisible. My bad. But as much as I love Smoke, I'm not that much of a crazy mix-up lady. But Smoke mains are already familiar with all the mix-ups that he can provide. So why not double down with Stryker? If you predict that they predict that you're gonna go for this overhead, which knocks down and gives Smoke advantage, you can do low instead and catch them off guard. Or if you see the overhead get hit or the first low get hit, because remember he's got overheads too, so you know you can do stuff like this. Oh, that didn't work. Can I do grenades? I can, but they won't reach. Unless I caught them really early. I have to do. Yeah, that is really fucking tricky to pull off, but you can see where Smoke can actually help with enforcing mix-ups, and of course covering Smoke's distance because he doesn't really have a traditional projectile. The best he's got for space control is this and the Smoke Bomb. Sure, you also have back forward 1, but that's unsafe, whereas if you meter burn this, whereas at full screen you use the grenades, all of a sudden they run the risk of eating those grenades while you come in and become invisible to enforce your own deadly mix-ups. As you can see, you can absolutely time it so that you can get grenade combos. Very handy for Smoke if he needs to enforce his pressure overall, between the overheads and the lows. And of course the restands are another force of nature to begin with, and ending combos with restand can give Smoke some terrifying mix-ups. Finally, we have a character that benefits from having options that he doesn't actually have. Look, I know Raiden is a very strong character. Man is strong and very beginner friendly. I ain't gonna deny that. I'm a Raiden Serena main, for Christ's sakes. But Raiden is not strong in a couple of departments, particularly in mix-ups. Sure, he does have. Yes, he has this overhead. He does have this attack, which can turn low. He has these lows, but he does not have a special move that is an overhead. So he cannot turn his forward 4 into a mix-up. You might think, well, what about this? Not special cancelable on hit. This is the mid. This ends low. So if you see this block, and he's going to go for this, you can actually release block and punish Raiden. And after this is an overhead, but there is no low option. There is no low option that comes off of this unless you want to spend a bar meter. You know, like this. Oh, but wait, it's not special cancelable. So, you couldn't throw out this low even if you wanted to. And don't worry, that low is actually much better than it looks. So how can Raiden enforce a mix-up? His buddy Stryker. So, yeah. All of a sudden, you now have to deal with a character that has mix-ups on top of, damage like this. I didn't even try and I even whiffed and I still got 32%. And of course, if I do this twice, hello 38%. That used to do 40, by the way, but this scales more. But this scales just a touch more now, which is a small nerf, but, you know, a reasonable one considering the kind of damage Raiden was pulling off. But now, of course, with the overheads, even though they're not special cancelable off of that one, if you do the low kicks, overheads, baby. Overheads, baby. So yeah, now you have an advancing 50-50 mix-up that has 3 lows in it. So I could do overhead from this range. I could do low overhead from this range. I could do low overhead, and then low. So you have to be on your toes, for pun not intended, immediately from this range. And if he expects you're gonna go for the punish, well, he doesn't mind sacrificing a combo for the guaranteed mix-up and enforced pressure, because guess what? If he does get to hit you, you know what happens in a normal scenario. I just goofed on the inputs. So, overall, why should you pick Stryker as your Kameo? If you love mix-ups, if you love being able to cover your distance, if you don't mind the tight execution for combos, and you love restands, Stryker is the character for you. Keep in mind his throw is kind of below average in the sense that it puts the opponent quite far away and doesn't do a whole lot of damage. But, or at least relative to other throws, like Sonya's or Jack's, for instance. But when you consider that Stryker over here brings all of that and more off of the fact that he has the most moves, Stryker is very flexible. It's actually quite a good thing that our boy Stryker here does not have easy combos like Sonya or Jax, because otherwise that would be terrifying. The fact that he can combo at all is certainly worth looking into if you're personally rather curious. So, you know, what are you waiting for? Take a look at Stryker. See how he can work with your main. I mean, he's certainly got enough tools that are worth looking at, between the fast low and the pretty decently quick overhead, the restand, the fact that this man has really crazy coverage with the projectiles, and one of them, and the most hits out of any Kameo right now in the game on their super move. An underrated but sly piece of tech. Now, if you're wondering, well, Stryker doesn't work for me, but I want to exploit this with Ashura, what should I take a look at? Well, Shujinko does have a lot of hits. Shujinko has a lot of hits. If I'm not mistaken, Sub-Zero does not have a lot. Serena doesn't have a lot. Jax doesn't have a lot. Yeah, Shujinko, Kung Lao, and maybe Darius, if you're looking for that kind of thing, or Scorpion. But really, if you want to take advantage of that, and you want to use Ashura, or any other character, just use Stryker. Because Stryker Liu Kang, that is another one that can take advantage of how many hits it has. And of course, as an honorable mention, let us take a look at Liu Kang. Liu Kang. Because now you have to consider Liu Kang's combo potential, which is absurd. Like, I am not a Liu Kang main, which is plainly evident. But had that connected, seriously? I know what I can do. Yeah, if I just wait a little bit, then go for it. Just to do a simple version. Congratulations, 54%. And I didn't even have to try. Kameo-less Liu Kang has a lot of crazy combos. So, throw Stryker into the mix. And now I will deal with the cat. So, don't forget to be awesome, my friends, and we'll see you guys on the other side. And cannot wait to show you what comes after Halloween.
Fatality. Tanya wins.